Let's take a look at ETH. So taking a look over here at ETH, let's see. There was something in the chat about massive breaking news. Green lights banks holding crypto. Awesome, great. So banks holding digital assets is a positive for adoption, and it's difficult to determine why Ethereum should appreciate in US dollar terms outside of massive user growth. So we need more users, I think. And even when you start to look at the number of users, why does that mean that ETH goes up in US dollar terms? So we'll see what happens. But this rally out of ETH, it put in a low at 28.80 or so. We've rallied, what is that, 70 points off the lows. So 2 percentage points off the lows, still down greater than 5% on the session. And very similar pattern to what we see in BTC, this series of lower lows on the way down and lower highs on the bounces. So, the very definition of a downtrend. And if I just, throw down a channel like this, if ETH gets back up to 3,000, that would probably be some type of resistance, but the top of the channel comes in at like 30.80. I'm looking for like a real rally. This is not a real rally. This is like, one large trader closing a short position. Like this is not a real rally out of it. Okay, NVIDIA, T minus 60 seconds. This is going to be interesting. I don't even think I have the data feed to be able to see it. Okay, so it's showing me in the post market session. So I'm going to see if I can zoom into this thing. This used to always be so much fun trading options around earnings, because if you for the most part into earnings, vol tends to expand. So if you sell premium, if you sell like a really wide strangle into an earnings event, then after the report, vol collapses. And so you get this volatility crush, which means that the premiums for those options that you sold also likely collapse, which is great because you sold them. So that means you can buy them back much more cheaply, as long as oh, look at that. Look at that. It's ripping higher by $1. Let's see, 189. All righty. This was always so exciting about just having a position on during earnings. So far I'm wrong. Oh, look, did I get stopped out? So I should have gotten stopped out, but let's see if, because I don't
NVIDIA
think that this,
$4 now, $3.
yeah. So it says the market is closed. I put my stop at what was it, 191? I should have gotten stopped out, but it can't happen if the market's closed, right? So
Yeah. As NVIDIA is
yes,
up $5 now at 191, 192. So it's
look at that. It's ripping higher.
yeah.
192. Wow. Let's see what
Holy
impact it
shit.
has on. Yeah, isn't that great? So let's see what impact it has on ETH. So
Yeah, I
2980.
can
So
breathe now. I can breathe. Okay, so
Would it let you
yeah,
close your short without affecting anything?
yeah, I think we should
I
short.
don't
I'm just
think
curious.
so. I don't think so. So it looks like I'm going to get closed on this position for a loss tomorrow morning. But yeah, see, it says market is closed, will
Ah,
reopen.
that's
So
good
yeah,
though.
I can't do anything about it. But wow, man. Okay. NVIDIA 194. So let's zoom out here to a daily from the 1 minute chart. And let's see what
NVIDIA
we're looking at now.
reported 57 billion in revenue, higher than expectations.
Yeah, and one thing that I learned after years of trading these, earnings announcements is the initial move is not always the way that things open the next morning. So, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, it's great to see markets levitating on the back of NVIDIA's blowout numbers, but 195, so that's $10. The move that was priced was closer to $20. So anyone who sold premium into this, if NVIDIA opens tomorrow at 194, anyone who sold premium into this, did really, really well. because you're going to see a vol collapse here. But I'm more interested in what these digital assets do. So it looks like ETH is putting in a nice rally, of another point, rallying another percentage point after NVIDIA reported. And let's see, Bitcoin. So we're 2 minutes, we're T plus 2. And looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's up, what was this? Like how many points? From 90, so a couple hundred points on BTC. Let's see. Let's see what happens. How about NASDAQ futures? How are they moving? So, NASDAQ futures close for an hour in 37 minutes, and NASDAQ futures are just unchanged. So, not really having an impact at the index level.
The
And
NASDAQ future opens at 6. NASDAQ
yeah,
future.
there's NASDAQ futures are still open, and they close for an hour in 37 minutes, and then they reopen at 3 p.m. Pacific.